All right, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Bahashem, Bakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. I'm going to just do a video, real quick on this verse, Matthew 22 and 40. Because the important thing that Yahushai said. All right, so I'm gonna start at 37. No. 34, so you can get the gist of what it's talking about. All right, but when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together. All right, so this is the Pharisees talking to Yahushua. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him and saying, all right, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? So they're asking him, what is the greatest commandment, all right, in the law? All right, because contrary to popular belief, or what people know, people only know the 10 commandments. All right, you ask the world, what are all the commandments in the Bible? They'll just tell you the 10 commandments. All right, but there's over 600 commandments in the Bible. Really, anything that the Lord says is a commandment. All right, verse 37. Yahushua said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. And the great commandment. So this is the first in the great commandment. Thou shalt love the Lord power with all thy heart, and with all thy mind, and with all thy soul. All right, verse 39. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophecies. All right, meaning that if you do these two commandments, then you're keeping the whole law. All right, you're basically keeping all the commandments. All right, because first of all, let's deal with the first one. It says, thou shalt, verse 37, thou shalt love the Lord thy power, right? Now, how do you love the Lord? Because the word love is an action word. It's just not something you, say, you got to show it, you know? So this is just 1 John 5 and 2. This is how you love the Lord. Verse 3. For this is the love of the Lord, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. So that's how you love the Lord. All right. That's why Yahushua said, it's like I'm quoting it wrong. Let me go back there. That's why he said what he said in verse 40. All right. Matthew 22 and 40. On these two commandments hang all the law and all the prophecies. That's why I said that. Because if you do these two commandments, you're keeping all the law. All right. It said, what was love? All right. 1 John 5 and 3. To love the Lord means you got to keep his commandments. All right. So that's verse 37, where it says, thou shalt love the Lord thy power. How do you love him? Is you keep the commandments. All right. And then it says, the second is like unto it. So meaning the second is like the first. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And we know that the neighbor is talking about your brother. All right. Someone who is enduring in this truth like you. All right. Someone who's like-minded as you, who's enduring hell in this fucked up world. All right. That's who your neighbor is. The world will tell you otherwise, that it's just anybody you see. Now, this is talking about your brother. All right. And then in these times, it's talking about your brothers in this truth. Because you got 2/3 of our people, they're not acting like Israelites. They're not acting like our brothers, So it said, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. All right. And like I said, love is an action word. All right. Because if you love your neighbor, meaning your brother, Let's just go to the 10 Commandments, what the world knows, right? If you love your neighbor, right? Let me go to verse 13. Thou shalt not kill. All right, these laws, statutes, and commandments are written to the Israelites. All right. So if you love your neighbor, you're not going to kill him. All right. Thou shalt not commit adultery. If you love your brother, then you're not going to sleep with his wife. All right. Verse 15, thou shalt not steal. All right. If you love your brother, then you're not going to rob from him. All right. You're not going to steal from him. All right. Thou shalt not bear false witness. So that's why I said what it said in verse 40. All right. Because keeping those 2 commandments, really you're keeping the whole law in itself. All right. So again, this was, just a quick vid going into Matthew 22 and mainly verse 40. But we started up a little bit. All right. So Lord's will, you were edified. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakal Kodash, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.